Hello everyone. In this video I would like to make a comparison in vocabulary of Chinese origin of three languages: Mandarin Chinese, Japanese and Korean, in terms of pronunciation and writing. As you probably know, classical Chinese language, apart from China, was also used in Japan, Korea and Vietnam during various periods. And all these four languages used to have Chinese characters as the main writing system. But now only China and Japan are still using the Chinese characters. The Koreans have their own syllabic alphabet called Hangul, while the Vietnamese are using the Latin script for their language. And there's a special term called Chinese Character Cultural Sphere, 汉字文化圈, kanji文化观, kanji 文化圏. Okay, and it should be noted that nowadays words of Chinese origin make up about 60% of the Japanese and Korean vocabulary. So I'm going to do a review of basic words in the three languages which have Chinese origin. And since I'm not familiar with Vietnamese language, I'm going to skip this. I'm sorry. Okay, the first word, freedom. 自由 in Chinese, in Korean, 자유, in Japanese, 机遇 library, 图书馆 图书馆 earthquake, 地震 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 the term for globalization is quite different, as we can see here. 全球化 and 世界化. Actually, 全球 and 世界 are synonyms. And as to Japanese, we can see that they use English borrowing global, global, global. Birthday, 生日 생일, and 誕生日. And the whole phrase for happy birthday will be 生日快乐, 생일 축하합니다, where 축하 is another Chinese borrowing meaning 祝贺 congratulation, and 誕生日おめでとう. Weather forecast, 天气预报 일기예보, 天気予報 cinema theater. We can see here that the Japanese and Korean version is the same, 永华馆 and 映画館, while Chinese is 电影院. 电 means electricity, 影 means shadow, 园 means garden, while 永华馆 the first character means to reflect, 华 means picture, and 馆 means building, which is quite logical and it makes sense. Okay, scholarship, 奖学金 奖学金 and 奨学金 milk, which in Japanese has the two ways of saying. Miruku is another borrowing from English, and gyunyu, which is spelled exactly as in Korean, uyu. And for Chinese it's quite different, nyu nai. Wallet, and we can see here that this word is different in all the three represented languages. 钱包 in Chinese, 钱 means money, 包 means pocket or bag. Jigap in Korean, ji means paper, and gap means box. Saifu, sai means wealth, and fu means cloth. Girlfriend, 女朋友 여자친구, 彼女. Sunday, 星期日 or 周日 일요일 and 日曜日. Actually in Korean and Japanese they use the same terms for days of week. White Snow, famous European fairy tale. 白雪公主 in Chinese and Korean is almost the same. 백설공주. So the pronunciation is quite similar because the spelling is the same. As to Japanese, it's quite different. Shirayuki hime, Shirayuki hime. So we can see that the same similar characters are used, but here it's read in a Japanese way. So the Japanese reading is used here, and it's called kunyomi in Japanese. Broken heart, 失恋, 失恋, 失恋. Formality, 手续, 诉讼, and 手続き. So 手続き here is another example of Japanese reading of Chinese characters, also known as kunyomi. Okay, news, 新聞, news, and news. Actually, this character 新聞 in Japanese and Korean means newspaper. Okay, 祝福, chukbok, and shukufuku, meaning to bless. Football or soccer, 足球, 축구, soccer. The United States of America in Chinese will be 美利坚合众国, where 美利坚 means is a transliteration of the name America. Okay, and in Korean is Amerika 합중국, or the shortened term is 미국. In North Korean version, I'm not sure about it actually. 미합중국 or 미국. So they use different characters because this character means to beautiful country, and this character means rice country. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to me since North Korea, as far as I know, doesn't use Chinese characters at all. Okay, they stopped using it right after the liberation of Korea in the 20th century, after the end of the Japanese occupation. Okay, and as for Japanese, it's Amerika ga shukoku, America or Beikoku, meaning rice country again. And here's the common term is 合众国 or 합중국 ga shukoku, meaning United States, I guess. Okay, zoo, 动物园, 动物园 or 动物园. And here one can notice that phonetics of Chinese and Korean is a bit similar because they have this nasal sound nasal while Japanese language doesn't have it, so instead they just make this vowel longer. So instead of dong, they say do. Little Prince, 小王子, 어린 왕자, 호시노 오지사마. And the common word here is 왕子, 왕자, 오지. So again, Japanese language doesn't have the sound wang, so they turned it into oji, o. Okay. So grape in Japanese is budo, in Chinese 葡萄, in Korean is bodo. And here we can also see Cantonese translation for this word, po taiji. I'm sorry if I'm reading it not correctly. Comrade in Chinese is 同志, which also means gay, so you should be careful while using this word. Okay, in Korean is 동지, as in Kim Jong-il 동지. Okay, in Japanese is doshi. No smoking. In Chinese, 禁止吸烟. In Korean, 금연 or 흡연 금지.禁煙,喫煙禁止. Okay, 금연 and禁煙are shortened term, mostly used. Okay, double ticket. Taiwanese version is 来回票,来回票. Continental Chinese version is 往返票,往返票. In Korean, they also have two versions, 往北票 and 往北 ticket, where ticket is obviously an English borrowing. As in Japanese, 往復切符 and 往復チケット, ticket. Okay, glasses, 眼鏡, 안경. But in Japanese, it's quite different, megane, so it's another example of kunyomi, Japanese way of reading characters. Winter vacation, 한자. In Chinese, in Korean, 겨울 방학. 겨울 is a native Korean word for winter. And in case of Japanese, both words, fuyu and yasumi, are native Japanese words written in Chinese characters. Okay, 狮子座, Sagittarius, and Shishiza, meaning Leo as zodiac sign. Okay, and here I would like to compare words, review words that are same in Japanese and Korean but different in Chinese. Okay, the first word is food, meaning food or cuisine. In Japanese it's ryori, in Korean is yori, while Chinese say fan cai. So for example, Japanese cuisine will be Nihon ryori, in Korean Ilpon ryori. Promise, yakusoku, in Japanese, in Korean is yakusoku. Arrival, tochaku, in Korean is tochak, while Chinese say daoda. Bag, kaban or kabang in Korean, and in Chinese is pibao. Washing machine, sentaki, the same character is used in Korean. And in case of Chinese, the second character is quite different, so the pronunciation is also different. Shiiji, family. Kazoku, in Korean is kajok, in Chinese 家庭. Photograph or picture, in Japanese 写真, in Korean sajin. In Chinese it's totally different, 照片. Free of charge. Japanese 無料 and Korean is also the same, 無料. Chinese 免费, quite different. Okay, as I mentioned it before, shinbun. Shin means new and wen means to hear. Shinbun and shinmun mean newspaper in Japanese and Korean, while this character in Chinese means news, not newspaper, but news. And there's a special term for newspaper in Chinese, it's 报纸. 报 means to report, 纸 means paper. Okay, mood, 気分 and kibun in Japanese and Korean. In Chinese it's 情绪. Okay, it seems to be the last example here. 失礼 or 失礼, meaning being impolite. And the phrase for I'm sorry will be in Japanese 失礼します. In Korean, almost similar. 실례합니다. And in case of Chinese, when it comes to apologizing, they say 对不起 or 不好意思. Okay, so it's the end of the video. I hope it was informative. Actually, it's the first time I'm making such a video presentation and uploading it on YouTube. So okay, so see you.